redefining broadcasting. We're starting from sports. Everything sports, we are redefining it. We don't just talk about sports like other people do. We're not competing with anybody. We set the standard. We compete with ourselves to beat our own record. That's our style. Welcome again. This is Saturday, 11/11/17. My name is Ted. I'm not alone like we promised you over the week. We're going to be here with two heavyweights. That's a category of the people who are in the studio this evening. Heavyweights. Our big brother is here again. Oga Aminu Ibrahim is here. You're welcome to the program, sir. And D1, as usual, is here with a lot of information. Yesterday, D1 got angry that Nigeria drew Algeria, and Algeria came with a train to park to play. But I don't know why D1 is upset, because we never really needed that game. But of course, when we get into the next hour to talk about football, he will give us details of what happened in the camp. What did they eat? What did the Algerians eat that is different from what we ate? They came fighting as if yesterday's game could actually help them qualify for the World Cup. All that will come. There are other games going on today. We'll give you details of that. But first of all, starting from issues that we raised on this program that we didn't complete. On Thursday, when our big brother, Aminu Ibrahim, was here, we spoke about the issue of the budget. We're keeping that one by the side because we're going to x-ray it in details. We're looking at something that is very, very unique and special to our hearts as Nigerian sports lovers, not just the game of football. We'll start from the scrapping of sports commissions in the Ministry of Sports and what the effect of that on our development and all that. Ogaminu, I will start with you before I come to D1. Over the years, we have had a lot of excellent sport personalities who came from this very, very low. I would call it low because it started from nowhere and then became big through these federations that focused on individual athletes to make them better. You have been a handballer for so many years. You have represented this country. You have been part of that history. Unforgettable. No matter how much it is not documented, it is there. We that are in sports, we know it. You have been there. Handball especially is forgotten. I would say it's forgotten in Nigeria. I don't know how I and the stadium here can push you back into one space in handball to make sure that you revive this, even if you miss going to nursery schools and primary schools and secondary schools. Unfortunately, they don't have fields. So even if you go there, there will be no place for them to play handball. That's the thing. But then the scrapping of sports federations, commissions rather. Let's start from there. What has been the effect of that on our productivity in sports in Nigeria over the past? Let's look at 2 years. Over the past 2 years.
Remember, the chairman said when the rumor of scrapping sport commission came up, Super Eagles had either a World Cup qualifiers match or one of the games. So he came to the stadium and the journalists went to him to ask him, "Sir, there is a rumor going on in town that the sport commission scrapped." He said no.
He said no?
Yeah, he said no. Him as the chairman, Senate committee, but he has no information about that.
Maybe he didn't know. He was actually hearing it for the first time.
So he said, if at all it happens, it's taking Nigerian sports back 50 years. Yeah. And that is exactly what we are going through now. Without sport commission, there is no any achievement. For the past 2 years, after 2015, All African Games, even in the Olympics, we fumbled.
We did.
We fumbled. We didn't do anything. Because the main key body, which is the Sport Commission that coordinates the federations,
yes,
work with the secretaries of the federation, build up teams, put them in camp, monitor them, see their problems, they liaise with the DG National Sport Commission, which he immediately take action. And that is why you saw during 2015, we had a very, very beautiful and successful outing in Congo.
Yes.
Not because of anything, because of the DG.
Yes.
He's a sportsman,
and passionate
one of
about
the best sport administrators ever in Nigeria.
Yes.
He comes to the athlete, they see him anytime they want to see him, discuss their problems.
And no middlemen.
No middlemen.
Directly.
And then the athletes, that is what they want. And they give him result. In Congo, if any athlete happen to win any medal, there is an award instantly, not federal government award, But the DG's award, $3,000 for gold, $2,500 for silver, $2,000 for bronze.
Okay, why I don't go? You didn't tell me this thing before.
So the scrapping of Sport Commission is the biggest setback that sport has ever experienced in Nigeria.
Now, as a scene, let's look at it, unique and individual sport commissions that have been. The other day, you and I were having a conversation outside the studio. We were talking about racing, not racing in terms of cars and all this long distance and all that. We spoke about the fact that Plateau State and Adamawa State alone, those two states alone, would actually rival Ethiopia and Kenya if we're serious, if we commit ourselves to that. There's something you told me, so I wanted to say to the listener out there to hear that IAAF had a budget for Nigeria to establish an academy or an institute in Nigeria to bring up runners.
Yes, in Pangshin, in Plateau State. Because that is where we have high altitude, where the long distance runners, long distance athletes,
yes,
can have their preparation from.
Train
yes.
where?
When you look at those days, Abbas Mohammed of the Nigerian Army,
yes,
Lieutenant Colonel or Colonel now,
yes.
He was my schoolmate in Zaria. He used to come to my house in Jos,
okay,
so that he can have that opportunity to train in Jos. And that was what he used in Milo Marathon, that he has been ruling Milo Marathon for all the years. Oh. Mohammed Buba and all these plateau long distance runners,
yes,
they get their inspiration and their good training from those places. Because Jos is like Kenya and Ethiopia.
yes. Bolivia, I think that a few countries that have that altitude, almost 9,000 feet
yes.
high and all that. So why don't we have it? Do you have any information about the fact, the reason why we don't have that on ground now?
Well, the only thing we'll say about that is the same thing that I said. Scrapping of Sport Commission has set Nigerian sport backward. There is a roadmap that was set by the former DG,
okay,
Malam Hassan
Yakmut, yes,
of establishing that same training camp,
yes,
in Pangshin, Plateau State. And so many other programs that he has set. If you look at our performance in the All African Games, it was high. We're supposed to build on that to the Olympics.
Not to drop back
not
to where
to
we
drop
are.
drastically.
Yes.
You know, between the time he left the office and the Olympic, you saw what happened. Denials of our athletes in the United States of America.
Mm-hmm.
So with all these things, we can't get it right, except if Sport Commission is back. Then we can start getting things right.
But
I'll give you one instance.
Yes.
When Nigeria was preparing for All African Games, the National Sport Commission and NFF used to pay up to 50, 100, 120 million in hotels for accommodating players.
Yes.
And the All African Games camp was already on.
Yes.
And we have the athlete hostel that they used to call now a Goodluck Jonathan hostel.
Yes.
It was built for more than 3 years.
For that purpose.
For that purpose. And they were saying that they are waiting for BOQ. And when the DG came, he said, no, there's no BOQ. What is BOQ? We need to put this place in order.
Okay.
With very meager amount of money, the place was refurbished and athletes moved in. And he saved more than 200 million for accommodation, because eventually most of the athletes fed there, they were accommodated there.
That doesn't happen again. D1, is it the same thing in football? You are a specialist when it comes to football. You traveled out of Abuja of recent to witness a groundbreaking ceremony for grassroots sports, young persons, primary and secondary, trying to get into sports and all that. Over the years, we have not had that. Most of the academies that we had, the likes of Mikel, and most of them came from academies, from private funded academies, not even those that are owned by government. Are we having the same challenge in football that Ogaminu is talking about that is happening in other sports? Is that the same problem in football?
Definitely, it's across the board. Not only in other sports that we are talking about, but in football as well. Let me give you an instance. There is a particular football academy in Kwara State, yes. Kwara Football Academy.
Yes.
Before now, it was owned by Kwara State government.
Yes.
When that thing is not functioning the way it's supposed to be, that's why they now employed private. You remember Clement Westerhoff was once there before Mutiu Adepoju eventually came in. And if you go to that place now, you will weep for the students, because they said they combine both football and academics together. But I must tell you, there is no competent teacher over there that is helping them. Just the man that is in charge now that is trying to make things to work out. And the major problem is that even they invite private individuals to come and man this type of place that we are talking about, how are they going to eventually get their money back? Because all these politicians will come and hijack it from them. And at the end of the day, their investment will go down the drain. And we have other academies in Abuja here as well. And they've produced better players. But the major problem is that the consistency is not there. By the time we get these players and you see them growing up a little bit, we are so eager to reap the fruit of our labor, quote and unquote. By saying, okay, we don't have time, we don't have long time plans. We want to achieve things immediately. And in developed countries, things are not done that way. They always wait patiently for them to make sure that this player mature to a level. Look at Messi. Messi was once with Barcelona Academy. And that's where he come from. Look at John Terry. He was once with West Ham Academy as well. And many other players that we have. And they developed. Look at Pirlo that we are talking about. Pirlo was from academy as well. Look at Xavi. Look at Iniesta. All of them, they are from academy. And now see the exploit they are doing. Comparing with other their counterpart in Nigeria here, you discover that we are not serious when it comes to the issue of sporting activities in this country. Problem is that we want to politicize everything, not trying to separate. Although, like we mentioned on this program, that it's not possible to separate politics from sport. But when we allow politics to overshadow the sporting activity, it will affect us. And many of them is just like it's not continuum. Many of them after they might have finished their tenure, they will leave that place, and it's the athlete that will suffer for it at the end of the day. So I think what we need to do is to put these athletes into consideration. Let's look at them as if they are our children, not saying they are just coming from elsewhere, because many of them, they don't have any other way of living their life. That is exactly what they paid us.
Sports could be a career.
Yes, that's what. And when you are talking about this thing, I could remember vividly, although I'm still young compared to guys, but I could remember National Teacher Institute there. What they normally do, not a teacher's school. Then what they normally do is for them to have students. They will check them and see the area that you are very good, your strength and weakness, and they will separate them from activities. That is why we normally have exceptional students. When it's time for them to go for competition, they always select them from these schools. Not that they will now rely on foreign imported athletes to come and take over from our athletes that we have in this country. We have them in abundance. We are talking about 190 million. Go to local areas. We see athletes that they are ready, even without giving them anything. They are ready to go out there. The name of their family
they sacrifice their own time and money to train.
They just want to go out there. When you are talking about long distance, go to northern part of the country. The strength is there. They can trek. Their life is just like some of them. Their life is just like that life of chameleon, camel rather. They can trek from here to Nasarawa State, and they will not be tired. Look at it. We have a program, Okpepe race in
the road race.
State.
Yes. We only have two in the country. We have that Obudu as well.
But who is coming down now to sponsor it? It's only, I think 2 years ago was the last time they staged that type of program, and they are thinking of staging it again. But when we come and invest, and whenever we stage it, it's so pathetic that it's the foreigners that will come and sweep away all the price on ground. And we, the athletes that we're supposed to use that medium to groom them here, there will be no avenue for them to develop, all because we don't give chance for them to develop. It's pathetic, but I think we can do it.
I will stop you there. Your blood on the hot. When you were talking like this, he's upset. Okwamina, I'll come back to you. Let's look at individual sports now in Nigeria. It has been. You have an in-depth knowledge of most of this, having worked deeply in the sports commission and having the knowledge. You worked under Oga Yakmut for some years. Let's start from handball. What is the state of handball in Nigeria, both male and female? Record I have here is that in African Championship, female especially, we were there in 1979. We came sixth. In 1981, we came third as female. In 1983, we came second. In 1991, we came first. We won. In 1992, we came fourth. In 1994, we came fifth. After that, the records have been very scanty of how much we have done in handball for the female, especially. Before we come to male, where you have been very, very committed. What is the state of our handball in Nigeria?
Yeah, thank you. The state of handball in Nigeria is we run away from reality, which is the grassroots program that we used to have.
Yes.
Not only handball, in every sport.
Yes.
Those days, you see, there's inter-secondary school. They get players from secondary school.
It started from inter-house.
Yes, inter-house.
Amino house, Ted house, D1 house. We fight in the school and then...
Yes, they select from the inter-house competition.
Yes.
From there, you can now do the state school competition before going to national school sport. Yes. Most of the athletes you see, they were discovered from this kind of championship.
Yes.
They are no longer in existence. Look at the last one that we have hope on, the National Sport Festival.
Yes.
When was it hosted last? In 2012 in Lagos. And money is being budgeted
for. There's budget for that every year.
So we never heard anything about it and we never see it happening. Where is the money?
That's another big question.
So this is a big question that we need to ask. The youth games took place in Samoa in 2015.
Yes.
Nigeria was represented and they did well. Okay. Which I believe from there is where we're supposed to get younger athletes to take over from the older ones.
Yes. Somebody like you, I don't know who replaced you in the team.
In 2017, money was approved, 240 million. To Bahamas, the team did not travel. Nobody is asking questions. So how do we...
And the money was released.
Money was released. Because they've gone several times for visas and whatever. If money was not released, where will they have money to be paying for visas and whatever? So somebody must explain to us. We need to know.
That's a very big concern there, because the questions have to be asked. People have to account for these monies because these monies are from us, taxpayers. We make these contributions from the little jobs we do, from the little monies we earn, paid in as tax, and this is government keeps making budget for all these things and nothing is done. We spoke about this on the program 2 days ago, about appointing people who have no knowledge about sports into sports. You and I were joking the other day outside the premises on the fact that you can never appoint a lawyer to head Ministry of Health or appoint a taxi driver to head Ministry of Restaurants, if there's any ministry like that kind of stuff. It has to be somebody who has a proficiency, who understands what it means. I think we are all getting it wrong. It's probably getting to that point where we have to rally around and make noise like we are doing on this platform, on this stadium. Let government understand that sports is part of a bloodstream. It is so strong for us in Nigeria that we need that. Back in the days, sir, the police produced a lot of athletes for us. I think our first gold medal in the Olympics was won by a police lady. Yes.
Yes.
And the first time we had, even though we had a heavyweight boxer in Nigeria, even if it was just for 2 hours, we did, was a former police.
Peters.
Yes. And all that.
And we also have Larry, who won the cruiserweight.
The cruiserweight, yes.
He's a police officer.
Police officer. Yes. In the police too, I do not know what is up. I've not heard about the police have produced. Let me give credit to them that over the years they have put us on the pedal, placed us on the pedal, a very high pedal at the international level by producing these stars. But it's been long we got such athletes from the police again. I don't know what is happening there as well. And the monies are actually approved for these competitions for them and all that. Should we challenge the police as well to, since we are failing in regular upbringing of athletes, should we challenge the police to go back to where they used to be? Is it a personal interest of any IG that comes into office to decide whether sports will be an integral part of the police force to produce, or is it something that is stated on the ground for them to do regularly?
Yeah, in this issue, I will give a special kudos to AIG Sani Mohammed.
Okay.
He has been doing very well for the police.
Okay.
He is one of the best sporting administrators we ever had in this country. He has passion for sports. He loves sports.
Yes.
He encouraged the police sports. he is the person that always pushed the drive for police games to take place.
Okay.
And it has been a success. But because of this problem of no sport commission, no this, no that, there's no continuity. National teams used to take athletes from the police, from the army, from the navy. Sunday Bada of blessed memory. He's a police officer. He was in the national team. For a very long time.
We can get very excellent swimmers from the navy.
Thank you.
Divers.
So what I'm saying, I'm still saying it. National Sport Commission must stand for our sports to be back to where it is. Or else, my brother, we're not going anywhere. We cannot politicize our sports. Sports is a business. Let's take an example with George Weah of Liberia.
Of course.
Single-handedly, he sponsored Liberian national team, not with the funds from Liberia, but from the funds he make in Europe.
Mike has done that too. Mike paid hotel accommodation for Super Eagles players. D1, is that true or false?
That's true, but you don't want to disclose it. But it's something like that.
He's hyping in Liberia, so I'm trying to hype one of our own too who attempted to do that.
Something like that.
So if he wasn't making money outside Liberia, he cannot sponsor his national team. So definitely we need to get it right so that we can get back to our winning race. After the All-African Games, there's no any tournament, national tournament for any event that is being organized by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. If there's any, then somebody should tell me. The basketball league is being sponsored by different sponsors, Zenith Bank, DSTV, and other people. Those days we used to have tournament hosted by either the Ministry of Youth and Sports or the National Sports Commission.
And that is gone.
It's gone.
This is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. We have our uncle here, Aminu Ibrahim, ex-international, who has represented this country, has many caps, even though he doesn't wear a cap. Recent, he has decided not to wear a cap. Has represented the country in handball. We have D1, special analyst and reporter and correspondent for the Stadium. You can be a part of this conversation by calling the number 08189 991011. We're looking at the decline of sports in Nigeria. What has been the problem? What is happening? Do we have the right people in the right places? We're not condemning anybody. We're not shouting at anybody. We're not blaming anybody. We're blaming the structure. If the structure is right, everything will be right. And if the structure is right, let the right people be in those places. Why can't we have ex-internationals head some of these commissions? The scrapping of the sports commissions has become a problem. We just spoke about handball. Of course, somebody's on the line here, maybe to agree or disagree with us. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Stadium. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
My name is Ted. What is your name and where are you calling from, sir?
Mohammed is my name.
Mohammed, welcome.
From Masaka, yes.
Okay, make your contribution, sir.
Yeah, good evening to your guest.
Yes, they hear you.
Yeah, I agree with your, yes, because it is only in this country that people are playing, I mean, I don't know how to even put it. Is it politics or, I mean, labor into anything?
Yes.
You understand? We don't take things serious in this country. Just like you people say, why can't you and ex-international to help, let's say, the FA?
Yes.
For example, even if you cannot give him the military, at least you should help that is, I mean, as an ex-somebody who plays football at it, you should help the FA.
Yes.
So that he knows, I mean, the in and out of everything. Yeah.
Yes.
So you bring a former commissioner in a state to be the chairman or anything. I mean, sorry.
Yes.
I mean, for me, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So I'm happy that you people are talking about it. Please continue talking about it until they hear you, please.
No, that's the only thing we can do. And thanks for adding your voice to the conversation. Oga Mini is laughing because thank you, Mohammed, for calling. Yes. 08189 991011 is the number you can call to join the conversation in the studio with me, D1, and Ibrahim Aminu, our ex-international. So let's look at we're looking at individual games. Let's look at boxing. We have had one heavyweight in the country before. That was Samuel Peters. Despite the controversies surrounding everything. Now, right now, I personally would say I don't know where he is. D1 knows. That's his friend. Now we have Anthony Joshua, who is being quoted by Britain, I will say. He's a heavyweight, but of course he identifies with Nigeria. But let me say we have had international export of 2 heavy boxers. D1 is shaking his head. D1, what is the problem?
Ted,
yes.
My problem with our people is that whenever somebody is successful out there, we try to lure that person, to bring that person down, achieve glory that we not really work for from the beginning. This guy that you are talking about Anthony Joshua, was here in Nigeria. He wanted to contest,
to participate in the Olympics,
represent Nigeria in the Olympics, and we deny this guy from being in Nigeria to represent us. We are calling him foreigner. Now there is an heavyweight champion. We are now saying he's our man, he's our boy, he's our boy. He's our boy, but
he's from Shagamu,
when he needs us most, we deny this guy. And like what we are talking about, I think one of these days, the governor of Ogun State is thinking of bringing Antonio Joshua
for a fight in Nigeria,
to come and fight in this country. I think it's going to be a great thing for. But you are talking about another sport. I could remember vividly when I was still in secondary school, and one of the athletes in slamming and dunking game, basketball that represents my secondary school. Then Milo always organize a competition for all the secondary school in Nigeria. But now, why is it that only Milo for years? Why is it that we don't have other sponsors coming? All because they discovered that if they should come in, at the end of the day, they may eventually not achieve the reason why they want to come in.
Somebody wants to disagree with you. Hello, good evening and welcome to the stadium. This call just dropped. I guess you're somebody that doesn't like what we're talking about, or maybe somebody from Milo that is saying without any payment. We're not hyping them anyway, but we're saying Oga Minusa. Yes. We are not producing boxers again in Nigeria. There have been a lot of boxing competitions going on in Ibadan. Has been like one of the hosts that has been organizing boxing competitions and all that, but we don't have the biggest noise we've been having. Of course, like D1 said, Anthony Joshua, who is a Nigerian British citizen, who denied the chance to. The other way around. British Nigerian. Okay, we're not producing that again. Is it also as a result of what we're discussing, the scrapping of these commissions? Can't you go? Don't you see Agbero in Motor Park punching people, passengers and drivers at the road? Can't you raise boxers from these people, that standard boxers, to become professional to fight?
We don't even have to go to motor parks.
Okay.
To go and get people that are punching, because they punch without rules. We have to go back to grassroots.
Yes.
I could remember those days when you go to Kano, Jos, and other northern states. Yes. They start from this local box in Dembe.
Yes. We're going to cover Dembe. There's one that goes on in Day every November, December. Yes.
Alhaji Sabo Mohammed, one of the Olympians we have.
Yes.
He was discovered from local boxing.
Okay.
And he's a bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games.
Yes.
So if we don't go back to grassroots, we can't get it right.
We'll get nowhere.
In all sports, not only in boxing, handball, but we must go back to grassroots and develop our grassroots very well. Yes. Just like the way we used to do. Like in my game, handball.
Yes.
We used to have under 12.
Yes.
I started playing handball as under 12 player. So when you play under 12, it's being sponsored by National Sport Commission. When Babayo Ahmed was the DG of blessed memory. Yes. We used to play under 12, sponsored by Sport Commission. Under 15, all this underage tournament is being sponsored.
Where they expose the children to these competitions. And yes.
So if we don't get that right, we can't get good boxing. Just like what you rightly said, we go to the motor park. Can you bring a man of 40 years and begin to teach him basics? You can't really get it, because you don't have the basics. But when you start teaching a young boy of 5, 7, 10 years old, you see him catching up and you become a world-class athlete. This is what we're talking about.
We're going to come to male handball. I'm keeping that for the last as we look at, because that's where you have been for years and you have details about that, because handball is a game I attempted to play. You know, I was too short. The top players were always intimidating me. We'll come to that. Boxing, like you said, of course, is partially they will have people in boxing like Bashali trying to set the Guinness World, get into the Guinness World Book of Record, fighting probably the oldest man to win a belt under his category and all that. That is done. Let's look at swimming. You mentioned something about the fact that we used to get athletes from the police, the army, and the navy. Naval officers are trained to be able to, apart from, they're familiar with the aquatic environment. I would say that we have not had anything in swimming. Michael Phelps alone has won almost, I think, over 15 gold medals. I don't have the right record. I want to be careful about what I'm saying, but he has won over 15 gold medals in the Olympics for the United States. I guess it's close to 20 or almost more than 20. Just one swimmer. If you add his team of swimmers together, you see how many gold medals, silver and bronze, they have won for the United States. We have in the South, in the Delta region, people that practically live in water and on water. Divers, of course, sometimes they evade the security forces when they want to do one or two criminal things. They can actually submerge and disappear and all the stuff. Why can't we? I'll make my point, but somebody's on the line. Let's find out who is here. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium. Good evening. Hello, good evening. Can you hear us? Oh, there's a callback. Please put off your radio or walk away from your radio when you're calling to contribute to the program. Back to what I was saying, sir. Have we ever considered going to the South to get swimmers for Nigeria? Walking away from football that has been like our shining star, our glorious game. D1 doesn't like that because that's one place he focuses. But country, what can we do to get swimmers to represent us at the next, like, let's say in the next 2 Olympics? Let's not think about the one that's coming up. Next 2 Olympics.
Thank you very much.
I know you go back to the issue of sports commissions. Yes, I'm very sure about that. But what else can we do? Yes, let's see if we can pick this call before you make your response. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is Ted. This is a Stadium of Human Rights Radio.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, Mr. Panos. I'm calling from Kaduna State, Kaduna local government area.
Oh, how is our reception in Kaduna? Can you hear us very clear?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. Make your contribution, please.
Well, I don't really know what is going on. I'm not hearing the radio for now, but I'm just calling to say hi to people.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. We're discussing sports. Is there any Dambe competition going on in Kaduna at the moment?
For now?
Is there any Dambe any Dambe competition going on in Kaduna?
No, for where now there is nothing. We are just okay.
Oh, okay. So what sport do you do? What game do you play? Only football or other games?
Sorry?
What sport do you do, sir?
Sport?
Yes, sir.
Well, I like to jog.
Okay, jogging.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you for calling us from Kaduna. We appreciate your effort to reach the stadium of Human Rights Radio. We're glad to know that we can reach you in Kaduna loud and clear. You can hear us very well. So you are talking about swimming in the South. They say we don't need to go very far. All that.
Yes. I could remember when the former DG went to brief His Excellency the CNC, Mr. President,
yes,
before the final approval of the funds,
yes,
for Congo All African Games.
Yes.
Mr. President asked him, why is Egypt and South Africa always ahead of Nigeria?
They prepare better, I think.
He said, it's in swimming, sir.
Okay.
Because one athlete in swimming can give you 13, 15 gold medals.
Yes. Somebody's on the line. Let's find out who is here. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Could you please walk away from your radio or turn down the volume? We're having a call back here.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Mr. Paul. I'm calling from Kaduna Road.
Oh, Mr. Paul, welcome to the program. What's your contribution, sir?
Yes, you're talking about sports.
Yes, sir.
Yes, like you're raising an issue about Dembe
Yes.
Yes, I have a very good friend that fights Dembe.
Oh, okay.
And he's from Kaduna State, Zaria.
Okay.
So, you need him, or what you intend doing about those people?
Okay, if there's a Dembe competition, the Stadium or Human Rights Radio will actually cover it and report it, because we want to promote our local sports. That's what we're talking about. If we can push Dembe to become a game in the Olympics, why not?
No, this guy is very good. So do I come along with him? Because me, I stayed here and he's in Zaria. Because sometimes they do come to Dede. You know Dede, they have where they do competition of Dede.
Yes, I know. After that small bridge, yes, I know.
Yes. So whenever he comes around, can I come with him?
Okay, very fine. What you do is that when he comes around and when the competition is going, just give us a call on this program. It's every evening from 6 to 7.
It's all right.
And weekdays from 6 to 8. Yes, just give us a call on the program and let us know the competition is going on in Dede. We'll gladly come and cover it and we'll report it here live, all right?
It's all right.
All right, then. Thank you so much for being part of the program.
Much, yeah.
Yes, have a good evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, you can see what you're talking about. Somebody is actually interested. You want to bring a demo, but my fear is that the guy, if that guy entered the studio here, if he turned into something else. Sorry, you were making a point before the call, Kemi.
Yes. So he said it's in swimming.
Yes.
One athlete can get 12, 10 gold medals. I said, can't you have swimmers?
Yeah, in the different categories, yes.
He said, yes, sir. So immediately after the briefing, he deployed the coaches that are handling the swimming national team to go to the South and get an estimate of a swimming tournament whereby we can get swimmers that will be trained in Nigeria and later will be taken to South Africa.
Wow. Okay.
To prepare for the next Olympics.
Okay.
Not the last Olympics, but the next
Olympics. One, yeah. Planning ahead. Yes.
But that didn't come to pass because of the scrapping of Sport Commission.
This is Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. The program is called The Stadium. We x-ray sports. We talk about every kind of sports. Of course, if you have been listening, you just heard a caller call indicating interest to bring a Dambe athlete into the stadium. Just that we don't have enough security to restrain in case he goes wild. You can be a part of this program by calling 08189 991011. We're going to take a very short break, and when we return, both my guests here, Oga Ibrahim Aminu, our ex-international, and D1 special sports analyst, will be in the studio with me, Steve. After the break, we'll talk about other sports in Nigeria. We're complaining about the scrapping of sports commissions and the effect of it on Nigerian sports. We'll go into other sports in details, and we'll talk about football later. Of course, I know most of you are yearning to listen to what we say about football. Nigeria, Algeria, according to the late Ernest Choneko. He said, Nigeria go, Algeria nil. You know who scored, who didn't score. But we'll come back from the break briefly. We'll talk about other sports. Do stay with us. Don't go anywhere, please. is the stadium on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. We're very close to the stadium here in Abuja, of course, but this is the biggest. It's 101 million capacity stadium, the biggest. If you want to find us, we're in Kaura district, just beside Games Village, and take just a taxi or keke napep. You know what they call keke napep? There's no car allowed in Abuja now anyway, okay? So we can take keke napep. Just tell them you're dropping at Human Rights Radio, they know. Get into a taxi, you're going to come here along. You don't need to go and spend 7,000 naira carrying one special vehicle, because we are simple and we're easy. We're talking sports development in Nigeria and what has been going on over the years. I have in the studio with me Uncle Aminu Ibrahim, ex-international in handball, and I have D1 sports analyst here with us. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, the phone lines are open. At any point in time you call, we'll pick your calls and we'll come back to the studio to continue our conversation. Call 08189 991011. Before we went on break, sir, and D1, we were talking about sports and how so much we have not developed in sports over the years because of the scrapping of sports commissions. Of course, we keep talking about that until something is done. Let them give us an alternative if the sports commissions can be re-established or brought back to life as they used to be. Somebody is calling here, I don't know, to agree or disagree with what I'm saying. Good evening and welcome to the stadium.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. Please, could you stay away from your radio or turn down the volume because we can't have a conversation like this, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, this is better. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm feeling the same, Mr. Paul. I play snooker.
Okay. Mr. Paul, what do you say?
I play snooker.
Oh, snooker. Okay. All right. We have not reported snooker on the program for a long time. Yes. So, what is happening in the world of snooker?
I don't know if you have that game and if you want somebody like that.
Okay. What is happening in snooker now? You have a chance to talk about it for 1 minute.
Snooker is a very good game, which at least me, I know I'm very good, which I know I can beat at least 2 or 3.
Okay.
At once.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a very good snooker player here called Brown. He's actually the producer of this program. I don't think you beat him.
That is why I want to come and see him.
Okay, Brown, you have a challenge. Mr. Paul wants to play snooker with you. We're going to fix that game and we'll report it on this program when it takes place, all right? Thank you for calling.
I promise Mr. Brown I'm going to give him 5 balls.
Okay. No problem. We are going to look at that on the stadium because here we accommodate every sport. And thanks for reminding us that snooker.
Anytime you're ready, just announce it, let me know so that I'll come around.
Very good, very good. We're going to do that when Brown is ready. He's a very busy man actually. When he's ready, I will let you know, okay?
It's all right. Thank you very much.
All right,
I always listen to your station, so at least I'm interested.
Thank you very much for being a very, very loyal listener. We appreciate it. From all of us here, we are happy. Yes, thank you so much. All right, sir. The merging of Ministry of Sports and Youth Development. Let me say it in PG. I don't know where they want to put the development, whether not for the youth development or sports development, but as far as I'm concerned, I've not seen the development over time. Should those ministries be merged? Because youth and sports, yes, they could be relative, they are close, they have issues, but there are two different things that should be approached separately. If this country is interested in our future as young persons, those ministries, for me, Ted talking here, I think they should be separated. Let's have an expert for sports and do sports as other countries are doing. Let's have someone else. If they want to make it be political appointee, compensation for supporting my campaign in 2073 when I was campaigning to become president, or in 1844, good. But I think it is affecting the structure of sports in this country. What recommendations would you make for the government? I'm very sure somebody close by there is hearing us.
Yes, actually, I agree with you. If Sport Commission will not re-establish, they should separate the two ministries. Bring a technocrat, make him the sport minister.
Yes.
And then youth should be appointed. Somebody should be appointed, either a political appointee or whoever, to go and take care of that aspect. Sport is a special organization that you don't give anybody.
Yes.
To run it. You only give people that understand the language of sports.
People who have been there.
People who have been there, yes, and they know the technical know-how of sports.
Sorry, I hold your thoughts. There's someone on the line. Let's who's here. Good evening and welcome to the stadium.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, welcome to the stadium, the first lady on the program. My name is Ted. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Sophie Shaibu.
Okay, Sophie Shaibu, welcome to the program. What is your contribution, please?
I'm a woman champion for the Nigerian Police Force.
Okay, could you turn down the volume of your radio? We can't hear you well, so that we can have a good conversation, please. Hello, Sophia, are you there? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, yes, we can hear you now. That's better. Yes, make your contribution. What did you say? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. This is
okay, but I'm so happy that you're talking about sports.
Yes.
Particularly my favorite game, handball.
Okay.
Yeah, it had then in 2014 when I just joined the police.
Okay.
First to that stage. I was playing for first to that stage.
Okay.
And it was so interesting.
Okay.
So also was in the police medication.
Oh, you were in the police?
Yeah.
Have you retired?
Not right now. No, I'm not. I've not retired.
Okay. Are you still playing your sports?
Yes, I stopped it because of several transfer, and apart from that, I'm still doing my exercises.
Okay.
So I didn't stop it.
Okay.
So I'm so delighted when you people were talking about my favorite sport, handball.
Yes.
So I'll be very, very grateful if there's any way you can bring back this stage of sporting.
We have in the studio ex-international who played handball for Nigeria, Aminu Ibrahim, if you know him. We are going to put a challenge to him on the stadium. We'll put a challenge to him to start street handball. That's a challenge we're going to put to him here. We'll call corporate sponsors to support him so that he will start, even if it is street handball, or start a campaign on his own to go to. We will not wait for government. We'll go to schools and then get people like you involved who have been in. I'm glad that you called on the program and you have been. You used to be a handball player. You're not giving up. You still want to play. That's a welcome development. People like you can pair up.
I'm very, very grateful. I'm very happy.
People like you can team up with Aminu Ibrahim to see if we can revive handball in this country, because it's a beautiful game that we love. Let's give our children what we used to have back in the days.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much for calling. Yes, we appreciate it. Thank you for joining us.
Have a nice day.
A nice evening to you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So you have somebody, a very loyal handball player there. You can feel the passion in her voice.
Yes. Thank you very much. Like the issue of the street handball she talked about.
Yes.
I have a tournament that I do in just every year, the 5-a-side handball tournament.
Okay.
Which, by the grace of God, the next edition will be an international standard.
We'll find a way to cover it.
Yes. The present president of Handball Federation of Nigeria, Mr. Sam Uchehu.
Yes.
He has a tournament that he used to do even before becoming the president.
Okay.
He brings international clubs from outside Nigeria
to play here.
And he also do kids holiday programs.
Okay.
I was opportune to be one of the instructors.
Okay.
Excellent. In the first edition, and it went very well. We have almost 1,000 kids.
Wow.
That came to play handball.
That's massive.
So thank you very much, my sister. We'll see into that, and we'll see how we can put it into.
If she keeps listening and she calls, we'll find a way to link her up with it so that she sounds like somebody who has some kind of knowledge, so that she can be a part of that too. Let's not be like it's all male. I mean, I'm happy to hear a female call and commit her dedication to all that handball. All that. Okay. Let's talk about something that's a little bit shortly before we go on a break. We're going to take a break in a couple of minutes for call to prayer for our Muslim brothers and sisters. We use this platform to always remind them, no matter how busy they are, let them know that it's time to pray, because this country needs prayers. You will agree with me? There has been this issue of injured players. There are so many ex-internationals who, if you remember the picture you knew of them and you see them now, you weep, because they are injured and there's a term abandoned, left alone, without support. I'll ask you, D1, I'll come to you now. I'll ask Oga Aminu to explain to us the health insurance of that. But D1, I'll ask you, how bad has it been in football when it comes to ex-internationals injured? Some take care of themselves, they pay their health bills themselves and everything.
Well, Ted and Oga, I must tell you that it's something that is pathetic. If you see many of these players, you will weep for them.
Yes.
In fact, upcoming players will not even want to play football at all. Reason be the fact that football is a game of contact, and it has to do with flexing your muscle. And the situation by which...
Sorry, Diwa, hold your thoughts. Somebody's on the line. Let's just give them the chance to contribute. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. My name is Ted. D1 is here. Aminu Ibrahim is here. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chris. I'm calling from Airport Road.
Okay, Chris, make your contribution, please.
My addition to what you guys are discussing. Though I'm a coach.
Okay.
On soccer.
Okay, soccer.
Now, thank God for the topic you just raised right now. An ex-international having an injury while playing the game.
Yes.
You see, it has been a problem we have been facing for years.
Okay.
I don't know why Nigerians don't honor our international players.
Yes.
Though, yes, a lot of them make a lot of money.
Yes.
But the assignments that have been given to them once in a while to come and represent the nation in one or two assignments, that should count for them.
Okay.
I was opportune to work with Coach Peter Ogaba in CSAP.
Okay.
I had a lot of discussion with him.
Okay.
The Ogaba has injury that took him forever. As friends, one day, none of the people at the glass house called him or tried to know how he's doing, which is bad. Not just him alone, other internationals have been suffering on this same problem. I don't know how you people put sport people handling our sports activities.
Okay, Coach. Hello, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You know what I want you to do? I would love you to call us back. We need to take a very short break now for call to prayer, but I want you to call back after the program resumes so that I'm very interested in what you are saying. And I might even have to invite you on the program one of these days. So just call us back in a couple of minutes when we come back to full broadcast after the break, please.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, this is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. We're talking sports and everything. We're taking a very short break now for call to prayer. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is Human Rights Radio, 101.1. Redefining broadcasting.
1.1 FM, redefining broadcasting. My name is Ted, and in the studio with me is ex-handball international Aminu Ibrahim, and I also have D1 special sports analyst. We've been discussing sports in Nigeria, the failure of sports development in Nigeria, the measure of ministries of youth and sports, which is not producing results as far as we are concerned on this program. Shortly before we went on the break, we were talking about injuries that athletes sustain in the course of delivering, representing the country, and sometimes most of them are abandoned. The issue has been on D1. Before we went on a break, Coach Chris called. But before I go back to you, D1, there's a call here. Let's speak and hear who's here. Good evening and welcome to the studio. Hello, good evening. My name is Ted. What's your name, sir? Hello, good evening. Please, your background is noisy. I don't know whether you're killing a chicken or a chicken is, whatever is happening there, I don't know. But please try to call us back and step away from your radio. You were talking about a pathetic state of Nigerian athletes, ex-internationals who got injured in the course of delivering for the country and they have been abandoned. What can we do here to help?
It's something that we really need to look into now. Reason be the fact that if we don't look into it, our sporting activities, we see younger ones coming up, they will not even want to venture into it.
To commit themselves into that because
they
don't want to end up like...
they have any problem, nobody will attend to them.
Yes.
That's exactly what happened to Emmanuel Emenike then when he sustained injury and he was there for some days. Nobody talked about it and he was so hungry. And it's one of the best strikers that we have in Nigeria then during 2013 Nations Cup that we won. He was there and he played very well. And we have many other players outside there. Some of them, they can't come out and talk. But I believe on this program, the stadium, the human rights radio that is trying to fight for the right of everybody, we will be here, we talk about it, and I believe until the people that are concerned will definitely come to their rescue. We have roll call, and on this program, we are going to reel out everybody that are involved. And I believe
can you have a comprehensive register of those people who are injured? There's so many. There's somebody on the line here. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Hello, good evening. This is Coach Chris.
Okay, Coach Chris. Yes, you are making a point about that. But Coach Chris, how do you handle your players that get injured like that? I mean, you are doing your stuff privately.
I want to say a very big thank you to D1 for the point he just released now.
Okay.
Now, I have younger players in my team.
Okay.
All they have in their mind is flying to Europe to play their games.
Oh, leaving the continent, going to Europe.
Yes, going to Europe to play football.
Of course, we had Tammy Abraham and Tayo Odun that were just capped by England, very young prospects that England took them away from us.
Now, if you look at it very well, those other countries, whenever their players have injuries and somewhere along the line they stop playing the game, they take care of them.
Yes.
Can you imagine our own Rashid Mekine, who we lost sometimes?
Yes.
It will not be celebrated in our own country. So the other country that was celebrating it, which is very wrong. Yes. Now, if our young chaps that are coming up, their first mentality is to go to Europe to play, and not even thinking about playing for the home country. Because of the one or two things that have happened. Yes. Now, Coach Peter Ogada had to train some of these boys, which is shared with experience. You understand?
Yes.
I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I get the picture you're painting.
Guys, these chaps could go back to their homes and think about, if I'm playing for my country and such injury happens to me, so I'll give
your own, obviously.
So they don't want to give up this all they have inside of them whenever they come for international assignments.
Yes.
Now, should I tell you one of the reasons why we see most of our guys playing in Europe try to win national team?
I would love to know. I would love to hear that.
It's because they want to make market value.
Okay.
Because wearing a national jersey is a trust to you as a player.
Yes.
So they want to make market values. And you see, after 1, 2, 3 games, they back out. Except the one fans really needs. They will cry call for them.
Yes.
Sure. So I would love Nigeria and sports analysts and other sports stakeholders. They should look at it very well. It is not bad if one could devote his time to work for the nation, and at the end of the day, I'm resigning from the game.
Okay.
They should place them on pension. They serve the nation. I would love to.
That's a very good point. Pension for athletes. Coach Chris is suggesting pension for athletes.
I think they act for us, they work for us.
Ibrahim is agreeing with you. He's nodding his head, and I think he's going to respond to that when you drop the call, because it's important to him as well as an ex-international.
Lastly,
yes.
Go to Go Project. Go Project is just close to you guys there.
Yes,
you
sure.
see ex-international.
Yes.
Ask questions. They will pour out their mind, what they are feeling, the things they are going through.
Yes.
And you go to their team, you meet the coaches, the coaching association.
Yes.
They train every Wednesday by 4.
Yes.
When you get there, you see them, they will express their pain, their bitterness on how Nigeria treats their ex-international, which is very, very bad. So I would love the people at the top, let me use that word, to look at these things very well. We need to take care of our chap, so that our own chap will give us the best they have.
Okay.
When a child is failed very well,
okay,
he gives something he wants to give.
Okay.
So when that child is hungry, there is nothing to tell that child. He will not give you anything.
Yes. I agree with you, Coach Chris. Thank you so much for being a part of the program, for bearing your mind.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Uncle Ibrahim, he raised some points there about pension. That one don't switch your belief. Because you say you do on pension now from National Sports Commission, handball, the Ministry of Sports generally, and now at least when you call it this model, I forget some part in it. How do you look at that actually? Apart from the joke, I mean, like, that is a very valid point.
Yes,
because we have governors who have become senators, who are campaigning for other positions. They have placed themselves on life pensions in their states as governors. They are going to leave the Senate and be pensionable. A very funny structure. And other people who contributed more to the name and the fame of this country are not entitled to ordinary health insurance. Let's before we go to the issue of pension, let's start from health insurance. What is the normal health insurance of a Nigerian athlete? Are they all under NHIS, or is it something else?
No, they are not.
They are not.
They are only being taken care of when they are in camps. After then, there is no any insurance. Even they are bringing professional players to come and play for the country. Nobody is insuring any player's life. I could remember Messi, when Nigeria wanted to play a friendly match with Argentina. They said Nigeria must pay for his insurance before he will come and play. We have these structures.
Yes.
I agree with you. What an athlete has given to Nigeria, a senator has not given it.
Sure.
So why will a senator or a governor be giving pension and somebody that
is risking his life in combat sports? In
combat sports, you must be physically, mentally, psychologically sound
yes,
before you can play sports. So the issue of pension, I agree with Coach Chris.
Yes.
We have the resources.
Yes.
We can do that. If the government want to do it, they can do that.
Yes.
And that is the only way you can tell the ex-international players, thank you for the services you rendered. You can't tell me if you go to any of the advanced country, you see any of their ex-international roaming the streets. You can see a lot of them in Abuja. Go to All Stars on Saturdays.
Sure.
You see people that can barely feed.
Yes.
And they will tell you this person has been an ex-international player. He was among the first team that gave Nigeria the first gold medal.
Yes.
We're not taking care of that in this country. We're busy building statues of presidents of other countries and importing them into Nigeria to come and celebrate them for whatever.
You're not supposed to understand. Recently, you know what happened? In the last NFF Congress in Plateau State, there was a particular issue that was raised that is only Super Eagles that will be given bonus. When they are on camp.
Yes.
And other cadres, there will be nothing like bonus for them until they eventually qualify for any competition.
So why would the young boys not play for other countries?
To motivate them. When they don't have that bonus is what some of them will gather together after their campaign exercise. Then they will now go back home and say, okay, imagine traveling for competition. Now you are coming back and someone is giving you like in fact, we don't even supposed to rely on federal government for compensation for our athletes. We're supposed to have that one separate. If you win, like what Oga Ibrahim mentioned the other time, if you win, like what Mr. Yakmut usually do if you win any competition, there's a particular money a fund set aside for you that will serve as motivation for you. Apart from the one recognition from the federal government, we're supposed to have that one aside so that you know that apart from bonus that you will get, if eventually, in fact, something you're supposed to do, if you score one goal for your country within, even NFF can do that. They are going to give you so amount of money apart from private individual coming in. And you see all of them, they will be eager. They will be, the hungry will be there for them to, the hunger will be there rather for them to eventually play for this country and get something good for us. But now, no, they are thinking about how they're going to feed their family at home. And for you to be a player in this country, any sporting activities you are engaging in, you must know that you have like 50 people depending on you. Because they believe you will get huge amount of money whenever you come back from any competition.
Uncle Ibrahim was retired. If he tells us his story, you know that he's taking care of so many people because they believe,
so pathetic.
They believe that he has a connection. So he was there. Once you were there, you're supposed to preach and all that.
Coach Chris mentioned Rasidi Yekini.
Yes.
If not because someone came to his rescue.
Yes.
After his demise, you know what happened to the family member? There was a report that emanated from Kwara State that Rasidi Yekini's mother was selling bread.
Yes.
Somebody that is above 70 years.
The
picture was everywhere.
That story is a very big story because I was part of it while in Lagos, and I'll tell you it was funny. It was not funny and not funny because of the situation, things that emanated from the Rashidi Yakini camp, the stories around his life, how he ended up teaching, got to that place, including depression, and a lot of things that happened and nobody really cared. It was when he died that some people started raising shoulders, and of course I remember the great Paul Bassi tried to intervene, Godwin Akena then tried to intervene, but there wasn't much they could do. So that was only. Anyway, this is a Stadium on Human Rights Radio 101.1. Don't mistake it for any other station. We are unique, we are the best, we set records against ourselves. We set the standard and we compete with ourselves. We don't have other competitors. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can call the number 081 89 991011. Uncle Brian, let's look at special sports. We have been doing very well when it comes to the Olympics. Of recent anyway, not just recently, like recent, but over the years, we have been doing very well in special sports. In terms of wrestling, in Paralympics, we are like one of the best in Africa. But what structures do we have on ground for taking people off the streets, off their wheelchairs on the streets, from begging to becoming athletes that will take care of themselves and make money from these games and also represent the country? But before you come to that, please, somebody's on the line. Let's hear who is here. Good evening and welcome to the stadium. Hello, good evening. Hello? Oh, the call has dropped. Please try to call us again if you want to be part of the conversation. 081 89 991011. So we're talking about special sports now.
Yes.
Has the scrapping of sports commissions also affected our special persons in Nigeria in that way?
Yes, very well. Because I could vividly said in Congo, why we came second.
Yes.
Overall best second team in Congo was because of the special sports. Because I was opportune to be there with the former DG.
Yes.
And he used to hold his bag of the award.
Okay.
Win medal for me.
Yes.
You have $3,000 and they delivered.
That was a massive incentive.
Yes. So there is no athlete that went to Congo and came back crying.
Yes.
Everybody was happy. Because I have been to so many All-African games.
Yes.
But that All-African games, you can call the athletes and then ask them.
So hold your thoughts. Let's respond to this listener. Good evening and welcome to the stadium. Hello, good evening. Please try to call again. Join us on the conversation 081 89 991011. So no athlete that went to the competition, especially Congo, that is very fond in your memory, came back.
Yes, everybody came back to Nigeria very happy from the allowances paid because everybody collected his entitlement the way it's supposed to be given.
And everybody tried to win because he or she knew
there's motivation. Their money gets to them, and then some people even got back and they even bought houses from their allowances.
One of my concerns is even the fact that For example, we talk about this on another episode of this program. Games Village, just outside our fence here, excuse me, was built during Koja 2003 as a games village, as the name implies. But after that, it went into private ownership. Some athletes that probably don't have access to accommodation anywhere, that roam the streets of Abuja and beg. Some have even, I remember vividly, have come to our executive media strategist to ask for support, for help, and all that. Why couldn't that, just a section, a tiny section of that be given us now with the recognition to these persons? I know so many governors have attempted to politically appreciate athletes from their states when they win something big by saying, okay, you have a right to, you can have a house here, here. But some of those promises still don't come true. We're holding them to account on this program, but I'm just imagining, why couldn't that be done? It became private.
If I could take us back to Cairo 91,
yes.
If you still go back to Egypt today,
yes,
the hostels that were built
yes.
for the All-African Games in 1991 are still the hostels that are being used up till now.
For that,
you have a tournament
for that same purpose.
Egypt, yes, they are still there.
No, here with the rent hotel, expensive hotel, so 7-star.
Okay,
is that 7-star?
If they don't do that, how they get
Let me just say something, Ted, about this National Sport Festival we're talking about.
Yes, sir.
I was opportune to go with the former DG to Calabar.
Yes.
To discuss with them, because they were the people that got the hosting right after Lagos.
Yes.
When they started fumbling, the DG was working on modalities for the festival to be hosted in Abuja.
Yes.
But the challenges we had was accommodation. How can you bring the whole 36 states, including FCT, 37, where do you accommodate them in Abuja? If the Games Village was still there, we don't have any problem. We host any tournament we want to host because it's a walkable distance to the stadium. It's accessible very close to the stadium, and you don't have any problem. You don't even think about transportation.
Well, but the people who are creating these bottlenecks are the owners of some of these hotels. So that's business. You're not talking like a businessman. As a businessman,
he's talking like an athlete, and that's the area he's supposed to.
As a businessman, you have to find a way to block what government wants so that you can make recommendations to have athletes from all the states come to your hotel. Upgrade it to 5-star or 7-star, whatever star you want to give you, 15-star, all the stuff. It's quite pathetic. It is pathetic that this is happening, and on this program we'll continue to talk about this, no matter how long it takes to say it, until it gets to the right ears for someone to step up and do something positive. This is the Stadium on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM. I have with me Ibrahim Aminu, ex-international and D1 special sports analyst, talking about sports generally and the decline of sports development in Nigeria, despite the fact that budgets have been every year. Actually, I think every year sports gets a very big chunk. We're not certain how much got into sports this few days, past how many days ago.
That visible. Nobody sees it in the budget.
But elections are around the corner, so it will be turned, maneuvered into some possession that some people have access to that. But of course, we're following it up. We'll get the details of that, and when we get the details, we'll say it out here on Human Rights Radio as it is. D1, let's go to football. We have just a couple of minutes left. Yesterday, Nigeria played Algeria. D1. You've been longing to talk about that. Let's go to that. Nigeria played Algeria. There were a lot of players that came in. I'm sure Guy Ibrahim watched the match yesterday, as well as a loyal Nigerian athlete. How much of that game did you know? How important was that game for us? The country. It was a draw. Some people were not happy because it was an outrageous, according to you, outrageous decision to award a penalty to Algeria. It was the last minutes of the game for them to equalize.
I think we went there to play for bragging rights. We've qualified already,
yeah.
But we just want them to know that we are better than them. Despite the fact that they named us as that we parade team, that they are bench warmers in their club side. But definitely we taught them football lesson. Despite the fact that the player, major suspects, they didn't play yesterday, like Mikel Obi, Ogeyi Onazi, they were not. But the guys that came to the party, they played very well. Like at the back, the rock solid two defenders that we have, Leon Balogun, and we saw what Olaine also played yesterday, replacing Ederson Echejile. I think coupled with what Shehu Abdullahi did in the right side, I think really play very well. And People they are now talking about the fact that if Ogenye Onazi is not there, we saw what John Ogu played yesterday, yes. The guy that scored for us in the 62nd minute. They said, this guy can represent us. What we need now is, how are we going to gel them together? And I think this Argentina match that we are going to play, Genedros will just look up for how he's going to infuse this player into them and see at least we have replacement. If one player is injured, we have another player that can come in and fit into that same position. And at the end of the day, we get better results. But our problem now, people are talking about our goalkeeper, Ikechukwu Ezewa, saying that we should not allow Ikechukwu Ezewa to go to the World Cup, that we should bring in Vincent Enyama. But I'm telling people this time that if we didn't invite Enyama in 2002, when we played against England,
yes,
there is nobody will know Enyama.
That's a memorable game. I remember making that blind save against Post Coast.
Yes, nobody will remember Enyama. They won't be talking about Vincent Enyama up to now. Why can't I just give this guy a chance? Why are we thinking of going back again? This guy can do it for us. We have Francis Ozo also.
It's one of the points that Oga Ibrahim raised about developing the youth. I mean, in sports we're looking at people who have delivered already for the country because we're not sure of what is coming up. But somebody's on the line. Let's listen to who is here. Good evening and welcome to the stadium. Hello, good evening. My name is Ted. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello, good evening. Oh, that call dropped. Yeah. It's the same problem that Ibrahim raised, because if we don't give chance to the players that we're developing in all sports, we keep going back to look at those who were there, no matter how old they get and all that. And I wouldn't say I'm rooting for any of the keepers. Of course, we have a very young keeper that came from the Liga.
He's just 19 years old.
He's doing very well for his club. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Hello, Coach Chris calling back.
Okay, Coach Chris, yes, make it brief.
Yes. Yesterday, the game Nigeria played yesterday was very, very interesting for the good game.
Okay.
Now, there's a saying that they said, if somebody carrying those balls, another one, no go do right.
Okay.
You see, Yama has done his own.
Okay.
They have to give chance for the upcoming one.
Okay.
For me, this guy is very okay.
Okay.
Very, very okay. If it's not okay, one will not use him.
Okay.
So it's better for Nigeria to start seeing the future.
Okay.
It's better for us.
Okay.
And talking about our defense line yesterday,
yes,
I was not too comfortable with Balogun.
Okay,
I don't know if it is the match he won yesterday.
Oh.
That first half, if you watch, is not stable. But thank God to Aino, who is very, very calm and he understands the African kind of thing.
We are lucky to have him. He would have played for any other country as well.
Yes. the guy is very, very calm. He really give out his best.
Okay.
And for me, what Roy is going with for the match with Argentina is just okay. I don't need anybody to start saying other things that we need Yama. Yama has done his part.
Okay.
The new one should take it up from there.
Do you have,
that's my,
Coach Chris? Do you have a goalkeeper in your club that we can recommend to the coach, the senior coach of the Super Eagles?
Of course, I have three of them. Good goalkeepers that can do it.
Okay, we are going to look at that to see if they can actually replace Ikechukwu.
Please, let them look at it.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Coach Chris, for calling back.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being part of the program.
And then we set new record yesterday.
Okay.
The last time we lose any match was 2005 during the 2006 Germany qualifier. Yeah. And since then we've played 36 games and we've not even lost any one game at all up till now.
That has to be with relation to the World Cup, right?
Yes.
Because South Africa were here in
World Cup,
the D1, so put the record straight.
Yes, I'm talking about World Cup.
World
now.
Cup, okay.
36 game unbeaten, and this Ikechukwu Ezewa that we are talking about now is just they've not scored him from any set piece. It's only spot kick.
Okay.
And just twice he mounted this thing for us 4 times now, and they scored him just only twice, and not from open play.
Yes.
It's from sport kick that is called. So
you want go. Are you this guy's agent?
What I'm saying now is that we just need to give him chance. Let him grow.
Okay.
So that at least at the end of the day, we have another person to rely on when we have problem with now Carl Ikeme is recuperating.
Yeah.
And we are all praying for him to
come
back
get
before
well. Yes.
World Cup.
Yes.
So let's just give these young chaps chance to come. We have under 15 as well.
Yes.
Nigeria under 15.
Yes.
They are there coming up. We
yes.
remember Kelechi Iheanacho graduated from under 15
yes.
to under 17.
One of the problems, D1, is that and Ibrahim, we go to international tournaments on the age tournaments, the age grade level. Under 17, we have been like dominant forces around the world. These players come back from these competitions. Sometimes some of them make it to Olympics under 23, and you hear nothing about them again. It's done and dusted. They disappear. You hear of players playing in San Marino, one league that you can't know. All those things are done. I don't know if it is a hunger by agents. Do we have a structure in place to monitor our upcoming athletes? Football has been a problem because we're discussing football now. You have good knowledge of that from the administrative point of view. Football has been a problem that players go to competitions, come back with trophies that are decorated by sometimes the president, very good handshake or some money, and then disappear. Should there be a structure on ground to monitor and see where our players are? So don't still go back to this same issue of course, with due respect to our former captain and goalkeeper, Vincent Nyama, do we have to keep going back to recall players who are almost passing their prime?
This is the issue of continuity. We don't have. You have the issue of continuity, like look at the Argentine.
Yes.
Messi and other people,
yes.
They came here
yes.
to play the junior team,
yes.
and they were in Holland.
Yes.
They played the same junior under 20 World Championship
yes.
together
yes.
with Mikel Dem, and you see
yes.
them growing like that.
Yes.
But in Nigeria, we don't have that continuity. Why we don't have that continuity? Because agents are not helping matters, and the players too are not helping matters.
Do we have a platform to license agents for our players, or anybody can be an agent? Because we have some coaches in Nigeria who are agents of some players, which is one of the problems that comes with team selection sometimes. We have some people in the FA who are also agents of particular players.
Yeah, but the FIFA rules says if you are not a FIFA agent, you cannot transfer any player.
So my father cannot be my agent if he's not recognized by FIFA.
No, he must be a FIFA licensed agent before he can do that. But because of our way of shrewdness, yes. we like the short way, shortcut. You see somebody who just come. I have a club in Lotenia. He's just a businessman. Yes. He's not a FIFA agent. You come take your son and then go and drop him in Lotenia. And that is the end of the exercise. But if there is a law governing our players, that anybody that is taking a player, that law must come from NFF. If you're taking a player, we must know where you're taking this player. If it's not okay, you don't release your players. Because every release comes from the Federation, NFF, to FIFA.
Yes.
Before the ITC will be sent.
Yes.
So NFF must be aware of any player that is leaving. Or you just come and tell me that you are taking a player to a country that I don't even know the name. I will tell you no. You know, that is where you have these players intact from under 17. They will graduate to under 20. You know, they will continue like that until they get to the Super Eagles.
It's a pathetic situation, but don't be depressed because we are discussing wrong things with sports. We want to set the record right, and we want to challenge people in the authority to do what is right. That is why Ibrahim Aminu is here in the studio with us today, and G1 is here. We're talking about that. If you want to join the conversation before we wrap up, call 08189991011. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the stadium.
Yes, to keep telling that. I want to wrap up what Mr. Ibrahim said.
Okay.
One of the problems is that we don't have long-term planning.
We don't have what?
Long-term planning.
Okay.
If you for long-time planning, I don't think we should be having issues.
Okay.
Because after winning those 2 balls that 15,
yes,
we we should have a program for them again for under 17.
Okay.
Step by step, step by step, step by step. But the problem we have here is there is no long-term planning. And another thing is, you see these boys in particular, they are not patient.
Okay.
Anybody can come around and talk to them.
And they will agree to move.
Here, you cannot tell them anything again.
Okay.
All they think about is that Europe. Now, last week, I was opportunity to give me there's one agent that came around to scout for ball.
Yes.
Come and see the crowd of players. The crowd of, I want to be selected. I want to go to Europe. I want to play the team and go to Europe.
Even if you miss traveling from Libya by sea into Europe.
They don't care where they are taking them to. And it's a problem. Well, you see, this young class, as soon as they see a white skin
yes.
in the pitch, it's done. And it's just going to people. So the we started looking at that. Okay. And that should be from NFS.
Okay.
If anything is going out, there should be proper clearance that, this is where this player is going to. This is, from that aspect, you can manage that player the way it's going, one after the other.
Yes. Okay. All right, Coach Chris, thank you for calling back to make that point. Diwa, what are your thoughts on this?
I think you raised something very, very important. It's out of desperation that make these players that want to go out, by all means, to just go and play abroad. And I will not blame them sometimes, because they know what they will get if they play in this country. Nobody really cares about them. The major thing is the administrators. They cares about their pocket. I know how much they said they should be paying players in this country, set aside by LMC, supported by NFF.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, these players, they may not even get the salary. Some of them will be home for months, and they won't get the salary at the end.
Of course, we have a scenario in Taraba that is going on. We've been talking about it on this program.
There's a player, one player, Abia Warriors player, he just traveled to Guinea now. And I saw one of his posts on social media. He was talking about the fact that when they signed him, they assigned special car for him. Apart from, and he said every week the alert will be coming in. When we asked him that why will you leave Nigeria and go to Guinea, he now said he will not lie. If you talk about the structure that we have in terms of talent in this country, we have a border talent compared to Guinea. But when it comes to the financial aspect of it, that the major aim of you participating in any sport is for you to get something to cater for yourself and the family. And he believes at the end of the week there is something for him to rely on, and even send, even if it's not, it's constant. You will get it at the end of the week. On Monday, you will receive your alert. And that one is at par with what we have in Europe. But here in this country, you need to be fighting. After you sweat out everything, you will still be fighting, running after the people that are supposed to pay you. And the money is there for you to collect. Not that they are...
We'll have somebody on the line. Hold your thoughts. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stadium.
Hello.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to the stadium.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Ted. What is your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Liverpool.
Okay, what is your contribution, sir?
My contribution is that I wanted to call the number of ordinary
Okay, what you do is you call on Monday from 7:30 to 9. You call, he'll be on air, and you call and talk to him directly. Call this same number, okay?
Okay.
Yes, call this same number on Monday. You talk to the ordinary president.
Thank you, sir. I should come out.
Call the number on Monday from 7:30 to 9. He'll be on air, so you can talk to him directly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Yes, before we wrap up, okay, Ibrahim, we didn't talk about men handball, but of course we're saving that for next week. But just one final comment from you and Jiwa, and we'll close up. What your final thoughts for today, generally?
Yes, my final thought for today is I'm still emphasizing on the establishment of the
sports commission, okay,
so that we'll get our sport right.
That's very close, very dear to you, very close to your heart.
It's very dear to me because that is where we get our results from.
Okay.
That is key of all federations.
Okay.
That is where you can reach out players at the grassroots through the sport commission, not.
Okay.
sports.
Okay.
So that's my own.
We re-echo that constantly on this program until something positive is done. Do you want your final thoughts before we wrap up?
I would like to tell anybody that is heading one sport ministry or any other one that if you leave that position, what will people remember you for? When you leave that place and you are no longer there, are they going to be talking about the fact that when he was there, he refused to do the right thing for us? Because legacy will be there. We are talking about Yakmut now because of what he did.
He did.
When you leave that place, what will people be saying about you? Will they be saying we don't even want to see him again? We don't even want to hear anything about him again. And I will also tell our athletes and people that love sport out there that they should support sport with their head and not their hearts.
Okay, support sports with your head and not your heart. And we are longing to see if the establishment of the sports commissions will come back to place where we get the best of talents. We put this challenge up to the police on this program that, of course, they have done us proud in terms of sports. What is wrong? Please go back there. Let's see what we can do for sports in this country. That's the size of the program, The Stadium, on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM. Tomorrow again, we have another edition of this program. Of course, I'm sure D1 and it will be available to be here. And if Uncle Aminu Ibrahim is free, of course, he will join us again. We'll discuss other sensitive issues in sports. Thanks for all those who called. If you tried to call, I didn't get through. Of course, it's network. But believe people when I didn't, because I'm not be saying anything. Thanks to Brownie, who has been there on the console controlling. Thanks to Desmond, the simulcast, and everybody who supported this production. Until tomorrow again, we'll see you by the same time. Good night.